Hello crafty chums, and I hope you can see me okay today. We're up in the cockpit of the boat and we're going to try a couple of little techniques here, and one is masking, the other one is brayering. And yeah, so I have a sheet of paper here. It's 5 by 7 inches, and that's what I'll be working on. And I hope you can see this okay, but as I say, the light's a bit strong. Just going to turn my hair back. So the image we're going to be using is this one here, and you can't really see that, but here's a piece I tried out earlier. So it's this image here, and that's what we'll be trying to replicate this time. Just get the stamps out, and but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some brayering. So we're going to be using some paints for this. I'm going to be using, I think I'll be using this powdered blue, a white, titanium white, a little bit of pink and a little bit of beige to tone things down a little bit, and a sheet of paper. What I'm going to do is try and brayer off on this piece of paper here, and we'll just go for it and see what kind of effect we get. So I'm going to use some pink first. Just going to pop it on this paper here. And that's way too much, you need much less than that. But never fear, because any paint you have left over you'll be using on your scratch paper to make something else delicious with. So unfortunately this isn't a flat surface I'm working on, not quite. As I say, the amount of also it's very warm here today, so this is drying almost immediately, I think. So I won't get quite a good coverage, but it doesn't matter if it's not all covered. I'm just going to, as I say, tone it down with this one here. So what I'm going to do now is use the blue. As I did before, I'm just going to pop it on my spare sheet of paper here. Then I'm going to roller it up and see how much coverage I can get with the blue. I might go to a darker blue after, but we'll see. I'll start with the lighter blue and then go to darker after if I need to. Yeah, I think I'm going to use a little bit of dark on this too. Darker anyway, so I'm using this darker blue. It's not that much darker, but it's a little bit darker. I'm just going to knock it back just a little bit now with a bit of white, but not too much white. Only a very, very light amount of white because we're using an angel figure. I'm going to put her in the clouds, but so I want to actually make the clouds, but I don't want to do that yet. Just going to put a little bit more blue down here at the bottom. Or top, whichever I decide this is going to be. Okay, and then I'm just going to dry this off after. Just going to make sure that all the paper's actually covered. So I've got two elements that I'm going to basically put on pictures. This word there that says angel, which I want to go there. And then there's actually the stamp of the angel, which is going towards the bottom so that I can get both on, but towards the bottom and slightly off to the one side. She's looking over to the right, so I'm going to place her over onto the left, and I'm going to use some stays on ink for this because it's a this is a watercolor paper, so it's quite textured on the front. I'm not too worried if it doesn't stamp completely. I always say this, I'm not worried about the stamping because I can paint over it or I can ink it over as well. So it's, you know, it's not uber important. It kind of is, but it isn't really, because you can make that right. So I'm just going to, bearing in mind I'm going to have the word angel there as well. So I'm going to pop it about there. Give it a good press down. I don't know whether you can see this, but this is the mask that I've got, that I've cut out for this image, and it's just going to take a bit of fiddling to get it onto the page because of her little waist and little arms. It's always a struggle to get it on, to make sure it's covered. So distress ink for that, and it just gives a little image a bit of definition there. Make her pop out from the page. I am going to probably, what I'll be doing as well is I'll probably be painting her as well, just to give her more highlights. I'm going to go a lighter colour, I think. It's probably a bit too dark. Yeah. It's probably a nicer blue as well. So what I've used there is Salty Ocean. I used Faded Jeans before, but I quite like the Salty Ocean. Okay. So I'm going to do next is I'm going to put in some clouds. So just going to use my white. Normally I'd use a bit of sponge for this, but I don't have any sponge here, so I'm going to be using a bit of kitchen roll. And I'm just going to do is crunch it up a bit, because it will give me some nice texture. And I'm going to come across her like that, and I'm going to come below her here, and just here, and a little bit up here too. Dab in some whiter areas. Okay, and I'm just going to let that dry. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of modelling paste now with one of my favourite stencils. This is a Dina Wakley design one. It's just a small dotty one, and I'm going to use this one here at the bottom, because it's sort of like cloudy shape, I suppose, anyway, isn't it? So here we go. Running out of room on my very little table up here. Anyway, so I'm going to do some up here along the top. Also going to do some just at the bottom. I think I'll just do some along the bottom of this cloud too. Just in smaller dots. And maybe just here as well. Just into this cloud here. Cool. And then I'm just going to leave that to dry also. So I'm just going to ink up the word angel now, and I'm going to do it in brown memento ink, because I want to go over it a little bit later in a gold in a gold ink, in a gold pen. So I don't want it to be black, so the brown is good, I think. A grey would be also good, I'm sure. So I'm just going to pop this about here. And again, it doesn't matter if it doesn't stamp quite right, because I'm going to be going over it, so it doesn't really matter, does it? And now I'm going to take off the angel mask. And there she's stood nicely on a cloud there. And I'll be going over her with some inks and things in a minute. Inks, probably paints is what I mean. So I've just been going around putting a few highlights here and there. Just, you know, like on the wings. Then on her dress too. Just helps, you know, a few highlights. And I'm just going to go around the edges as well, just to finish it off with some bit of blue here. Then I'll probably call it done after that. Anyway, I hope you liked today's techniques. Bit of brayering and a bit of masking off there. So that's your challenge. Paint your little picture, do a bit of masking, bit of brayering, and just basically have some fun. See you again soon.